Again, this is Dr. Tony at Chiropractic. We're chiropractors in Upland, Carmel, and Cucamonga. Also host of the Crooked Spine Show. I'm here today with Olivia and Suzy. Suzy is the owner of Chef Gourmet LLC in Ontario. Olivia is her nutritionist background, synergistic relationship between these two. They help prepare meals for people in our neighborhoods, locally, obviously, around 20-30 mile radius-ish.
Actually, we do all of the greater Los Angeles and Orange County and the Inland Empire.
Fantastic. So she is able to work with Olivia to plan meals people that actually have health issues and help people deal with inflammation. And even right now, and this is November 2020, in these COVID times, to help our families stay healthy so we don't overeat. I had a patient who works at Jack in the Box earlier come in. There's lines around the corner. I don't know why. It's poison.
Yeah.
Apologize. It's poison. But people love it. Why? Because it tastes good. How do we make foods taste good, stay nutritionally healthy, and help our bodies stay healthy? So Suzy, go first and tell us your background, how you got into this.
So one correction, I am not the owner. I'm just
I'm sorry.
I'm working on the marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So the owners actually, they started, it started out of necessity because the owner himself was having some health issues, and his wife is a chef, and she decided that she's going to create these healthy meals to help him to maintain a healthy weight and to also eat better. So they believe in like organic, non-GMO.
How long ago?
Oh gosh, they've been in business for a while. I don't know the exact time, but
so
they've been
5 years.
Yeah, they've been in Ontario, and so they've just kind of been building this base to try and help people to have total wellness. So it's not just like a lot of meal preps are just about macros and just about losing weight or maintaining their weight. This is more about like, how does this help you long term? How does it help you with your total health? And so he was able to get off his some of his medications. He lost weight, and he's just in better total health now. And so they wanted to kind of bring that to other people to be able to help them with their weight issues. And how I kind of got involved with them was because my daughter suffers with digestive issues, and that's kind of how Olivia and I have bonded together too. Is that in reading her story, I realized that she started the same way out of necessity of having issues and deciding like, I want to learn and help others because she was helped through diet and nutrition with her health issues. So we just believe that your diet, your nutrition can definitely help improve your total health. And that means with inflammation, heart problems, blood pressure, cholesterol, digestion, gut health, stress, your immune system. And the reason like organic and non-GMO is really important is because those chemicals and that stuff that you put in your body, it creates a reaction. Your body, it's a foreign thing, and it's having an inflammatory response, which creates lots of different health problems. So if you already have health issues with different things, then you're going to have an inflammatory response that's going to create more problems. And so
when I think a lot of it is when someone is self-educated and they're not like myself in the healthcare field, and they've had to for personal passion and then expand that out to, if it helped my family, helped me, helped people around me, can it help other people? And if it wasn't helpful, it would have probably died out 3-4 years ago. Mm-hmm. The reason I think businesses like these grow because there is a need for it. There's a need in our community, especially now, so people can benefit from, like you had mentioned, medical conditions, health issues, lifestyle issues too. Can we eat better so our internal body gets better, so our overall body is healthier to, like you had mentioned, get off the medications, get our bodies to a point to where we don't need those things that are chemically engineered in our body to help keep us healthy enough versus getting the better state of health so we can maintain it on our own.
Right. And to your point, right now with the high levels of stress and everything going on, more than ever, it's important that we focus on managing our stress to protect our immune system. And one way to do that is through how the foods that you're eating. So really avoiding those inflammatory foods like the drive-thrus, the packaged goods, the processed goods, even the vegetable oils like canola oil, palm oil, and soy oil, and kind of removing out a lot of those refined carbohydrates and sugars like cane sugar, breads, pastas, cereals. Those all cause blood sugar imbalances, which also affect the way we feel, how we can fight our immune system, and reintroducing a lot of those anti-inflammatory foods, the vegetables and fruits that are high in antioxidants, grass-fed quality proteins, healthy fats with high omega-3s like salmons, nuts, seeds, and then coconut oil, olive oil, flaxseed oil. And one thing that I really liked about Chef Gourmet and why I recommend it to clients is because they focus on your health and they're not so much consumed about this many calories and carbs, proteins, fats. They really focus on providing you nutrient-dense foods that are able to support you during these stressful times, support your immune system, your brain health. And that was one thing that I really saw with Chef Gourmet, and I recommended it to clients specifically, like if they tell me they don't have time or they don't know where to start.
I go, perfect.
Yeah.
You're in the right place.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you're trying to help someone, I think, change their lifestyle around, not just give them a quick fix.
Right.
Let's not count calories. Let's not worry about where you are, carbs or protein. Let's get to where your lifestyle goes from, for your eating lifestyle at least, goes from being, say, a 0, horrible, to maybe a 1, then a 2, then a 3. And a lot of it is people don't realize you're eating junk food because it tastes good in your mind, artificially flavored, correct?
Also, it's quick and it's easy and it's fast. And like for me, I feel like the reason that sometimes people fail or they revert back to bad ways is because you're not prepared. When you're like, oh, I don't have time, I don't have anything in the fridge, I'm just going to go grab something really quick.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I think that the meal prep is perfect for, is to say, it's there, you have no other choice, it's portioned for you, it's ready to go, you just got to warm it up and you're done. And if we have those things ready to go, we're less likely to make a bad choice.
You've almost given them no excuse because around time, great, your meal's right there. It maybe cost, I'm not sure if it costs more or not, but can you save yourself money long run by eating better so you're not overeating? Then now you have to go and now you feel bad because you overate. Now you spent this money on this supplement because you want to lose weight, even though you don't feel you're not eating the right foods.
Right.
I think that's the problem too. Or you go buy foods and they're not really healthy foods.
And another thing that our owner realized when he started doing it was that he was craving these junk foods before, but once you start to put healthy foods in your body, you actually stop craving some of those things that your body was used to getting. Like, you get off of it and you start wanting the healthier things, and you don't have the craving for the junk food as much. And he realized that after being off of that. You know, it's like...
How long did it take him, you think?
I think it took him just a couple of weeks of just kind of, flushing that out of his body. And like... The reason that I really felt like when I talked to them about my daughter, she's having digestive issues. She's had 2 endoscopies in the last year and a half.
Wow. Okay.
And, like, he really cared to talk to me and to say, like, hey, maybe she would like to, have our meals. And because it's tough, it is so tough to change a 9-year-old's diet and to say, like, oh, you can't have these things. Like, I need to find something, And it's just difficult sometimes, especially in this world that we're, like, parents are crazy, we have so much stuff going on that to try and figure this out on your own can be very difficult. And so for me, it was just nice to have somebody to talk to that cared, that said, hey, like, let's let her try some of our stuff. And she really liked it. I wasn't sure because I was like,
we'll see.
I didn't know, kids, it's like, I thought, okay, she's going to look at this stuff and she's going to think, like, that looks weird, or that's not what I'm normally eating.
It's too green.
Yeah, but
it's too green and orange. What's going on here?
Right, but she really liked it. She, and I was like, one of the first things I gave her was their Cajun chicken, which is not spicy at all.
Okay.
But they had made like a brown Spanish rice, and I was like, she's not going to eat this.
No way.
Okay, it's brown rice. She doesn't like the texture, whatever. She loved it. She loved it, and so they just make it taste good, and it's. Our chef is amazing, and she works with it, and it's not like you're eating healthy stuff that doesn't have flavor. It's not like you're buying a lean cuisine and warming it up and it's yuck.
Those are only 2 options maybe 10 years ago.
Right.
But no more. There's no more excuses why you can't eat healthier, have something in your fridge ready to go every day.
Yes.
And Olivia, what's the I guess science behind people tasting your taste buds where they can get rid of the artificial flavor taste versus going to more of a natural taste? What's the background on that?
It really gets down to the chemicals added in foods. So if I always tell clients, nutrition is simple. It's just sticking to real food. So the produce, sticking to quality animal proteins, and sticking to your healthy fats. You pull out a lot of those foods that have chemicals and processes in them, or processed foods. Those have chemicals in them to make you want more and to crave more. And pulling those out, it's very simple to stick to just real food. And that's kind of where Chef Gourmet, it's like they use real ingredients. It's just proteins, healthy vegetables and grains, and they just flavor it with just really good seasonings, and it pulls out all those chemicals, and it's easier to make choices to eat healthier long term. The more you pull out the processed and packaged goods and fast foods, the easier it is to eat healthy.
You're almost retraining your brain, true, not to need those. You don't fire those stimulants off in your brain, so your brain actually relearns what tastes good, correct?
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is it's going to feel, when you go from eating healthy or from unhealthy to healthy, is like, yes, best day of my life, or like, I get used to this.
Yeah.
As
Exactly.
it takes time, correct?
And it really gets down to, I always ask clients, like, when you start to eat healthy, sit down and ask yourself, how do you feel after you have a meal? Do you feel more energized? Do you feel just good, or are you feeling fatigued? Those are all signs that your body's telling you, like, stop feeding me this stuff. I don't feel good. So just really spend some time reflecting on your meal, and you gain so much appreciation for the food on your plate when you can reflect on how it really makes you feel internally and feel good from the inside out.
You're almost becoming your best nutritionist, best doctor on your own when you self-analyze your diet, your routine, how you're feeling, instead of the quick rush and then all of a sudden the drop if you eat like Fritos, something like that. I don't eat Fritos, I don't know what they are. But how do we adjust things so we feel different, maybe not good or bad, just different, and give yourself time to adapt to that? When someone buys a meal plan, Suzy, how's that process work normally?
So you can go online every Wednesday. You have to put your orders in by noon.
Okay.
And so the menu changes every week.
Okay.
So you have some variety, and you just decide what meals you want to order. And so you order online, or you can call it in. Right now we are going to offer Dr. Tony's patients, if you buy 10 meals, you get one free. So you just have to let us know that Dr. Tony referred you. And so it's just it's a very easy process. So the menu goes up usually on Wednesdays after our deadline. We put the new menu up. And then you just decide you need to get your order in by that next Wednesday. The meals are delivered Friday and Saturdays, depending on your location.
For how many days?
So it's up to you.
Okay.
You can order one meal, you can order 10 meals, it just depends on what you want on the menu.
How long do they last for normally? Like 3 or 4 days, 5 days?
I would say they last about 5 days. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So last you a full week.
So you have your week, yeah.
Good.
And you can decide, like, do you want just lunch? We have the breakfast energy bar or energy balls, which are the oats and stuff, and then we have different meals that you can kind of mix up if you want to have that. But it's really nice because it's portioned. It's easy. We can do gluten-free. We can do, if you don't do carbs, we can do, if we have a pasta that week, we can do the squash instead. So there's different things that we can do. And if you do have something special that you have for your diet, and you talk to us about it, if you order, I believe it's 10 meals, then we can do some kind of alterations if necessary.
Good. So a lot of it is, okay, if I'm going to call for the first time, I've done meal plans before, and I've done them everywhere else, but I've kind of gone on and off. How do I call and actually make what I think I need, and get a consultation first to make sure I'm getting the right foods for me?
So if you want a nutritional consultation, like let's just say that you have some digestive issues, or then that would be something that Olivia could consult on to say, like, okay, you need to like right now for my daughter, we're trying to do an irritable bowel syndrome diet, which is a reintroduction diet because you basically take it all back, and it's tough, let me tell you. But so if something like that is necessary, then that does require some special things because she can't have gluten, dairy, garlic, onion. I mean, it's pretty intense. So something like that, that would be something that I would say you would consult with Olivia first and schedule a consultation with her. and say, okay, what kind of things do I need to do because I'm trying I'm struggling with irritable bowel syndrome, or I'm struggling with cholesterol, or I'm struggling with, some kind of other, there's so many issues that can be helped with diet. So something like that, I would say you could start with her, and then, we can work together with her to kind of come up with a plan. And that's kind of where we want to go. We want to kind of go to a place where we don't feel that there's a lot of people in the Inland Empire area that are doing something like this, that can help people to create a plan to because when you sit at the doctor and they tell you, you need to do this, it's overwhelming. You sit there and think like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this?
And you go, thank you for coming, go figure it out yourself.
Right, basically, yes. Yeah. And so if you're like me, who has I'm already blah, I have 3 kids, I've got, therapies for my son who's autistic, I have homeschool right now with my daughter. I'm like, okay, where do I have time to sit and
you're not the only person like that either.
Exactly.
There's about probably another 1 million people like the same thing.
Exactly. And when you sit there and you think, okay, now I have to sit here and figure all of this out, and you're like, where do I start?
And that's one thing I like about your system and about both working together too. When you walk to someone and you walk with someone and go, okay, I want to do this, you can spend maybe, I want to say half an hour. Talk to Olivia, talk to Suzy, talk to the overall company and go, and if you spend half an hour, how much will that save you in medications, going to the doctor, high cholesterol, stress levels, doing things back and forth and going on and off a diet, if you want to call it a diet, versus a lifestyle change? Are you willing to spend, what I ask people, enough quality time and money for you, so when you spend money, you pay attention. When you pay for it, you pay attention. Can you spend the time and money to make your life improve along people around you so you can get healthy and maintain that as your normal lifestyle versus a diet, or maybe just for the holidays or just for a couple months so you lose that 10, 15 pounds? No. Can we get healthy long term so our body's inside physiology changes to want that and need that to stay healthy versus, again, the artificial foods that we have all around us every day? We can call my stepson, notoriously, we're on vacation this weekend. My wife goes, who's coming up the driveway on her ring? And it's Uber Eats. And it's some type of delivery system. Can we get away from that, even though it's so popular right now? Because meal plans are getting more popular to make our bodies stay healthy and get healthy. And that's the plan. The next step in this video, and kind of bear with me too, is how do we set up the meal plan, Olivia? Someone dealing with stress, what's the first steps we take?
So if we look at your meals, you want to focus on the key nutrients that support your immune system, your hormones, your adrenal glands, and your brain. So looking at foods that are high in vitamin C, in zinc, vitamin B6, B5, B12, and magnesium. That's where you want to start at, is looking at foods that are rich in those nutrients, because I always believe that you should try to get your nutrients first from your diet, and then obviously supplement second. So those are the key nutrients you want to look at, and looking at foods that are high in those nutrients is really important when you're building out your meals. And then I'm going, again, sticking to the rule of thumb of building balanced meals that have a quality animal protein, that is grass-fed, organic, and non-GMO, no antibiotics, and then also carbohydrates. So looking at your vegetables, starchy vegetables, non-starchy vegetables, grains.
What's an example of starchy vegetables?
So starchy vegetables would be like vegetables like potatoes would be a starchy vegetable, turnips, rutabaga is another good one.
How do you want to make those? Do you want them steamed? Do you want them...
So the best way to cook them is by steaming them. If you bake them too, you can essentially steam them in the oven. So you can put them in like a glass tray, put a little bit of water on the bottom, and bake them at 350 until the vegetable's about soft, and then drizzle olive oil on after.
What kind of olive oil? I'm going to throw questions at you.
So virgin organic olive oil.
Okay.
I specifically love coconut oil, so I tend to gravitate towards that one. And then with coconut oil, sticking to unrefined as well, and organic.
Good. And protein, let's go back to proteins. What's a good protein to start with if someone's under stress?
So under stress, so salmon. So salmon is very rich in omega-3s. That's another key nutrient that you want to support your body with during stressful times. and then adding in chicken, and then you have your grass-fed organic beefs are really good. As well as like wild caught cod, wild Alaskan salmon.
Why wild caught though?
Wild caught because
Why?
they aren't they're not filled with the antibiotics and hormones, so they aren't essentially grown in a farm. They're caught wild.
Yes, see, it makes sense, right? You sometimes use terms that actually make sense.
Yes.
And a lot of it is just can we eat enough of those things to where it tastes good to us?
Yeah, definitely.
How's it normally seasoned to make say a salmon or chicken taste good?
I think
your
that's
flavor?
kind of so it's always a personal preference. So I always like to ask clients, what is your favorite type of cuisine? So for me, it's Indian.
Not lean
cuisine. Not a lean cuisine,
Okay,
no.
sure.
Not lean cuisine. So my favorite, like if you were to go out to eat, what's your favorite type of restaurant you like to eat at? Is it Mexican? Is it Indian? Is it Thai?
Good.
So really looking at what type of spices they use. So for me, I love Indian. So a lot of my recipes are cooked with turmeric, which is an anti-inflammatory, ginger, which is really good as well, cumin and coriander, a little bit of salt and pepper. Those are kind of my go-to, and then a lot of times I'll add a little bit of fennel or rosemary.
If something that started and just do that meal with, say, for example, salmon or rutabaga, I'm just going to use potato because I know what rutabaga is. It's probably something good for you. And maybe a vegetable, a good common vegetable. What would it cost to basically, if you want to call it, stock your kitchen with those ingredients, say coconut olive oil and all the herbs and spices you would need? What would it cost someone normally just to have something, say, for 30 days to make sure they spice it the way they want to spice it, maybe Indian or not, in their safe setting? What would it cost time-wise and also money-wise, you think?
So
For just that one meal.
that's a tough, really tough question.
Not every day. But if I'm gonna go to Costco, and I want to stock my stuff with those things from Costco for us to have at least 30 days supply, some storage for me. What would it really cost me, so you think, time-wise and also money-wise?
Okay.
In the U.S. dollars.
So I'm gonna. This is a tough question
Because
because it really depends on how many people are in the house too.
It's safe to say one meal.
Okay.
Just say one. I live by myself. I'm a bachelor. I'm not. My wife
Yes.
would kill me. But how do we? If I'm a bachelor, I'm like, I'm going to start it. I get this thing going. I feel stressed all the time. Just for myself, for one person, what would it cost me just to get things started to make my kitchen more healthier for me?
So I'm gonna say it's between $5 to about $10 per meal, because the way you break it down is like a salmon, a wild caught salmon costs anywhere from like $20 to $25. That can feed you close to 4 to 6 servings. And then you have vegetables that are only maybe about $2 to $4 for, let's say, sweet potatoes. And then let's add in asparagus. Asparagus are about $4.
Okay.
You split that up into close to, I'm going to say, about 4 meals.
That seems like a lot of food, though. If I like to eat, then is that enough food for me?
That's enough for you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And how about the ingredients?
Oh, not for a whole month, though.
No, just for the day. But how about the ingredients too? All the spices and olive oil and coconut oil. How do I?
Yeah.
And the cumin and everything else I have to get. How does that break down? Where do I find that in the grocery store? Do I buy it as a bulk, as like a spice rack, or do I buy it individual?
So I tend to buy those individual.
Okay.
You can buy a mix, like a curry powder, which is just like kind of a seasoning mix and all in one, or masala sauce. And then coconut oil, you only buy it once a month, and that can last you, depending how much you're using, 30 to 60 days. So that one is probably your most expensive
Like
when
20,
you're looking
25?
at your
So I think you kind of mentioned one thing that I want to plug in, is that when you have all this food at home, like you said, like it's not as easy to portion.
Yes.
Okay, so that's
Yes,
where
you
the meal
contact
prep.
us, Suzy.
Yes, that's where the meal prep comes in. When we send you your portion, that's your meal.
You can't eat 2 of those things.
Exactly.
You can if you want, but
And
you're
so
not
like,
supposed to.
so I just want to say, like, I had pot roast from Chef Gourmet, and it was very yummy. And if I had made it myself, I would have had more.
Yes.
Because it would have been there, and I would have been like, oh, that was so good, I want some more. But guess what? I didn't have more because I had my portion, and that was it. And that's what really helps, I think, with the meal prep, is that you don't really have access to all the leftovers in your fridge that you could have. It really helps to keep your portions under control.
Good. So besides portions, the time to make all these foods the right way versus burning it like sometimes I do, allows you the frustration of, okay, I ate all the food. Now what's next? How do you? And that's said the portion is we're not used to that. And when we do meal plans, we're giving our, if you want to call it our coach, tell me what to do, tell me what to eat, how much to eat, when to eat. It makes, and after say a period of time, at that point your body learns that as your normal versus eating till you're full. Where you're full, then you want some more.
Right.
I mean, how long does it take our hypothalamus to normally know we're full? Part of our brain, do you think?
It depends on depends on the person, but
Yeah.
how fast they eat their meal.
Yeah, good.
If you are eating it slowly and you're chewing it the right way, which you should be eating
None
your
of us
meals in a
do.
relaxed state, it's very difficult for all of us to
Yeah.
do, but it's extremely important for your digestion. Most people start to feel full halfway between if
So
they're
maybe
eating their
10,
meals
15
right.
minutes.
Yeah.
But if you're eating a burrito and you've finished it in about probably 3 gulps, you're going to want another burrito and another burrito. So can we take our time, and not knowing this too, give ourselves time to eat so that meal plan, that meal prep, feels like it's enough.
Yeah.
Good. And besides that too, we talked about a little bit, buying all the ingredients, buying the foods, buying and spending time on the good store for the right foods, it's going to cost me probably anywhere from an hour and a half per week, and probably for me, for my family, probably close to maybe $300-400. I don't want to do that. I go to Costco. My wife just texted me earlier. We probably have to go to Sam's this week. I throw a tantrum every time. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Can I spend enough time and money knowing that because my buddy does this, buying a meal plan program, so at that point my meals during the week when I'm the busiest, I don't have to worry about them. Because when do we normally eat junk food or food that's not good for us? What time of day or how do we feel normally?
When we're hungry.
When we're hungry, when we're tired, when we're
In
stressed.
the afternoon.
When we're stressed.
When we're stressed.
Yes.
So when we're eating when we're stressed, is that good? No. If I'm eating when I'm stressed and I have something already planned for me, I know that's good for me, at that point that makes my life easy. So I'm not going to have the regret like I should not eat that again 3 days in a row. No. We want to avoid that.
Yeah.
Can we in our sense relearn what's good for us versus what's easy for us and what makes us feel good in a sense.
Right.
Yes. And I feel like the preparation that you take out of your equation, like, I do best when I don't have to think about it,
Yes.
It's done. And I don't have to make that choice. And I don't have to put myself in the position to make that good or bad choice. It's already there.
Yes.
And so I can say like, hey, okay, I paid for my meal, it's there, it's ready, and I don't have to worry about thinking like, oh, well, I don't really want to eat healthy today, or really, oh, I still have leftover whatever in the fridge. I think that's what helps you, is that you're prepared to make that right choice. You have the meal, it's there, it's ready, you just need to microwave it. And the truth is that I looked at it and I thought, I don't know if this is going to fill me up, it's little. It did.
Amazing.
It's amazing. You think like, oh, you think you need all this food. You really don't, and we make those bad choices because we think, and then we feel bad after. We feel sluggish, we feel heavy, we feel...
And we know it's coming.
Our stomach's upset, those kind of things. I think that for a $10 meal that's healthy, and the one thing I have to say about Chef Gourmet is that the $10 meal, that's what, most people charge, but they're giving you better ingredients. They're giving you
Wait a second, it's not like $25, $30?
It's $10 a meal.
What? Okay, put my order in. Well, a lot of it is, I'll probably end up buying a salad for lunch and running home, eating it, and then coming back here and taking a quick power nap, because what I do every day, power nap. But that's going to cost me $10. I go somewhere else. I went to, last 2 weekends ago, Taco Bell, because last thing open, when we were at like 3 in the morning. And it did not look like on the menu. Did not look like the screen at all.
Well, yeah.
And it tasted like nothing. But can we have, like I said, and seriously, can we go back to having food ready for us? $10 a meal, $10 a meal, and ready for us. So don't tell my wife, because my wife's probably watching this. Hopefully she's not, because she'll want to buy it every week. Especially like I said, the days that if I'm going to do it, if I still want to cook, can I do the days where I know I'm going to be busy?
Yes.
And plan for that.
Right.
So those meals are ready for me. So I come home, eat, boom, have more energy when I come back, not lethargic, so I know I eat something good. It's not that hard, people. But because I brought you guys on too, it's been around, meal plans have been around for a long time now. I want to say 10 plus years. and companies have come and gone. Chef Margaret's been around for a long time. Their company has done a good job maintaining their foothold in the area, and now adding Olivia to the program too, seeing the benefits of not only people with stress, but also in these COVID times, people that are dealing with just staying home all the time.
Right.
They can't work out. They can't spend time with other people. They can't do their normal things. People that should have gone to their family gatherings this weekend and probably been gluttonous, they weren't able to. It's sad. American way. What do you do?
Right.
So how do we now go from being stressed to topic of eating foods that way, Olivia, to now foods that are going to be more anti-inflammatory is the same thing? People deal with inflammation. Why? Why do people have inflammation, you think?
A lot of factors.
Okay.
I mean, you deal with inflammation from the food you eat, from the type of exercise you do, from environmental factors too, from the types of products you use on your daily, your skincare, your beauty products. All those lead to inflammation as well. Diet's the number one thing that we have control within, that we can change at any given moment.
Good.
And with Chef Gourmet, they make it so easy. It's just a matter of your choice, and whether you want to go through a fast food or make the choice to eat healthy and research different alternatives like Chef Gourmet that, they're really focused on your health in mind. It's not just about the macronutrients, and they're really trying to deliver healthy meals that taste good and get you to eat healthy long term, because it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle.
We mentioned too, it affects your mind also.
Yeah.
Inflammation affects the
100%.
mind, and it goes back to stress too. If your body is less inflamed, not only do you have less health conditions, but also your mind works better. And your mind can actually function better, and you can deal with things around you in this stressful time in a better way, right?
Right.
What's if you want to set up in your head, a anti-inflammatory meal?
So an anti-inflammatory meal, in my mind, would have a quality protein. Like I always go to salmon. So wild Alaskan
I think you like salmon.
I'll switch it. Okay, we'll do chicken. We'll
God,
just
what
do
kind of chicken though? Like chicken wings?
No, I like
Buffalo wings? No?
No.
Okay,
Good. So doing that grass-fed organic chicken breast.
okay.
And then let's combine it with, let's say, I'm going to keep going to sweet potato. Adding in a sweet potato.
How do you make sweet potato?
Steam it. Yes. Steam
I
it.
know these things really good.
Yeah. And then let's add in some, let's do asparagus.
Why asparagus?
Because asparagus is rich in a lot of those nutrients that are needed, that are anti-inflammatory, but are also needed when you're under high periods of stress. So I would do asparagus, probably just throw it on the stove, saute it, or bake it.
Good. And this is kind of a question people are thinking about asparagus, right? Why does asparagus make your pee smell weird?
It's due to your liver, actually.
I know.
Your liver is not, your detox pathways are actually not functioning as well. That's what causes your urine to smell when you eat asparagus.
Got it.
So it all gets down to your liver.
So how do you detox your... Okay, we'll talk about
That's
that.
a whole other topic.
Hold on. So but come back to...
Which she is amazing, and she can tell you all about your
That's
liver.
the thing, guys. I saw her.
I love
she said
the
a script
liver.
earlier. She's like, I'm like, this is way too in depth. She's gonna be more videos after. We'll link them to about things, how to get further down the rabbit hole, how to detox your body, things overall too. And going back to, does any of your meals include dessert?
No.
No. Okay.
No,
Why?
we don't
Why?
have
Why dessert not a major, essential? What they call it? The pyramid. What's that food pyramid?
Yeah.
Dessert's not part of the food pyramid.
I think they call it the My Plate now.
Okay,
My
okay,
Plate
got
and
it. I'm
food
sorry,
pyramid.
I'm 100 years old. I had that pyramid in
It's
school
still
where you had
the
to like
same
make
thing,
the cardboard. The cardboard out of all your pyramids.
I would say it's the sugar.
Yeah, sugar.
Yeah, it's gonna be the sugar. I'll let you answer that.
And sugar is one of the biggest factors that leads to inflammation and leads to a lot of
Yes.
chronic diseases, but it causes a lot of blood sugar imbalances. And sugar at the end of the day is sugar. So whether you're using coconut palm sugar, what are the other sugar
about
alternatives? Maple
Splendid?
syrup, honey.
Splendid?
Huh?
Splendid? A Splenda?
Splendid, definitely don't
Yeah.
use Splendid.
Splenda.
Splenda.
Splenda? Is it Splenda? Okay.
Best
Or
I know.
cane sugar.
Yeah.
They're all sugars. So removing those out of your diet or eating them in moderation is extremely important for your health in many ways, as well as during stressful times. It's easy for us to gravitate towards those sugars, and especially during this time of the year when it's just easy to grab desserts. You really want to focus on limiting those and eating the sugars very minimally or in moderation.
And also, going back to stress and inflammation, which hormones in our body usually get turned on under stress?
So it's your adrenal hormones kick off your cortisol. And basically, once your cortisol becomes so spiked, your body basically just starts to shut down, and your organs start to shut down. So when you live in that constant state of stress, it affects your health in so many ways. It affects your brain, your immune system, your digestive system, your hormones, and your body starts to send you these early signals of poor bowel movements, constipation, diarrhea, abdominal pain, but also muscle aches and pains,
brain
which
fog.
you probably deal with, brain fog, fatigue. Those are all early signs of stress taking a havoc on your health. And long term, it leads to a lot of chronic diseases, autoimmune disease, heart disease, cardiovascular, hypertension. List goes on.
A lot of it is too, I think, is when you have those feelings, what does your body crave when you're in a stress state or a high cortisol, high catecholamine state? What does your body normally crave?
It's usually sugar or salty food. So it varies based on the individual, but yes. So really balancing out your meals to make sure that you have those good proteins. And if you're eating carbohydrates, adding in a fat in there to help stabilize your blood sugar. So that's where the meal plans come in handy, because they're built with quality proteins, carbohydrates, and healthy fats, helping you your blood sugar stay more stabilized. You avoid those crashes from the blood sugar spikes as well.
It almost helps you get out of that inflammatory stress state to make your body healthier from the inside out. Then when you add, say, for example, exercise or meditation or some type of movement to your body too, then your body starts to get out of there. But the problem is right now everyone's in quarantine, everyone's not moving enough, everyone belongs to gyms that's possibly closed. We're out of that state. So if you can't work out enough, how do we now rebalance our lifestyle to at least eat better, to bring our inflammation down, bring our stress levels down, get our body to be more of a balanced, less stressed, more of a relaxed state? And I think that's why having meal plans, again, going back to that, allows people to at least have some sense of normalcy in their body, to get their body to now feel normal, so then they want to become at least a healthier state overall. But if you feed stress with stress foods, at that point what's going to happen? It doesn't engage, it makes it actually worse.
Right.
How do we get out of that state? Sometimes it'll take someone, if they've been there for 30 days or longer, sometimes 2-3 weeks minimum.
Right.
So,
it's amazing how much your body can heal within a few weeks.
And how do we get ourselves, and what I'd recommend, if you're in that stress state, inflamed state, if you feel like your body has a brain fog, or you're taking a lot of medications for those problems too, how do you get a consultation with Olivia to go, okay, how do I get out of here? What's going to take me? How many meals should I do? And listen to the meal plan, because it's not about cost, it's about your health. Do you want to spend money going to a doctor, getting medications, getting surgeries or other testings done? That'll tell you the same thing. Now go eat better and take these medications, or get yourself healthier so you have a better quality of life, so your body can heal, not just feel better.
Right.
What does it take your body to heal internally? And this is kind of a general question, when you've eaten so much bad foods for so long?
So for me, I really think it takes a factor of things. So feeding your body with the right nutrition, but also a lot of it goes down to mindfulness and learning how to practice stress in a positive way, as well as setting time to give yourself exercise or some type of movement, 30 minutes a day. Get outside walking, get outside in the nature. It doesn't have to be strenuous, especially during stressful times. You really want to focus on those low impact exercises like walking and swimming and doing strength training. And then setting healthy sleep habits too. So making sure, even as adults, the same rule of thumb goes that you set those sleep habits with your children. It's the same for adults as well. And making sure you're getting 8 hours a minimum a night. And then supplementing smart, like I said, during those stressful times, your immune system is threatened. And so you want to really focus on adding in the right supplements that support you during these times through food first, and then supplementing smart with like vitamin C, zinc, magnesium, the vitamin Bs.
It's almost your body's been deficient for so long, you have to almost boost it up so it becomes a normal state. If our body's used to having, say, for example, just a number out there, 100 milligrams of vitamin C, 100 milligrams, and now it's down to maybe 5 or 10 milligrams per day in your body, you almost have to push it up to over 100 so it re-regulates back to better state. Your body takes time to re-regulate, so you got to give it time to almost not toxify, but overdo it so your body can re-regulate that higher point. Is that correct?
Right.
I know, because I have a big student loan and 2 letters after my name. That's all I do. But can we learn to keep our bodies to a healthier state? Because when I talked about the stress hormones of cortisol, what's the opposite of what's a relaxed hormone in our body?
So a relaxed hormone you have serotonin. Serotonin is the happy hormone, and it also helps
like
you
a serotonin endorphins type of thing, right?
Yeah.
It's very similar. And people know what the endorphins are.
Right.
So how do we eat to release our endorphins and increase our serotonin?
So to eat
I'm just
I know you're really throwing these at me. So a lot of that, so most of your serotonin is actually made in your gut. So that's one thing that a lot of people don't realize, is that they assume it's made in the brain. But serotonin is actually found in a lot of animal proteins, and this gets on a totally different subject of why I don't really encourage vegetarian diets, because there are a lot of really good nutrients in the animal proteins that are essential for your dopamine, your serotonin, your GABA. Those are where a lot of the main sources come from. So that's why it's important to have balanced meals with a protein in there.
Protein meaning like a fish.
Yeah, fish.
Wild caught.
Yep.
I was listening. Cod or
Beef
salmon.
and
Beef,
chicken. Yeah.
Wild caught beef in the ocean. No, I'm kidding.
You can even do sardines, mackerel if you get adventurous.
Yes. And part of your meal, Suzy, too, how do you incorporate that into what are the, say, 2 or top 3 meals that you guys have that allow people to get all that Olivia's talking about?
So we do provide chicken meals, we
Okay.
do salmon, we do fish, we do shrimp, we do turkey. Like if we do pasta, like we did a turkey bolognese, and like I said, you can do a whole wheat pasta or you can do the squash. So we try to kind of balance it where you still feel like you're getting, like, I love pasta.
Yeah.
So like we talked about, like, what kind of food do you like? I love pasta. And so for me, when I tried, I was like, okay, turkey bolognese.
Right.
Like, right. It was so good. And so that's the thing, is like you really start to realize, like, you can make things that are healthy and have those things. And like I was just kind of looking at the chicken thing. Because, like I said, my issue at home that I'm dealing with is gut health. And my daughter's been suffering, and I lived this with seeing her deal with gut health issues that do affect her serotonin, her anxiety, all of those things. And I've never been a person who suffers from that. So to watch it and to understand and to read about it and all of that stuff, like, it's just so educational that you can find out so many things, and you share your stories and you talk to other people who are suffering the same things. And that's why I think Olivia and I have really connected, because she's been through her own things. She talks to me, she cares. And that's where I think we're coming from too with the meals. It's like, we want the balance, we want the fish and the chicken and all of the things that you need to balance your meals, to provide that healthy lifestyle. To say, like, yes, you can still have all these things, like you said, you don't necessarily, my husband is vegan, so I'm not going to say anything about vegetarian or vegan, but I do believe that a balance is the healthiest thing for your life. I really do.
It's a lifestyle, right? It's not a diet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we live a healthy lifestyle within our own parameters, but not feel like we're cheating ourselves from what we like?
Right.
And you guys you're giving people that, yes, we can.
Yes.
Yes, you can live that and eat well and be healthy at the same time. What I worry about, though, when someone starts a meal plan, how do the nutrients get into their body? and we talked about a second ago, is how do we detox our body sometimes first, if you want to call it that. Can we do that with foods?
You can, yes, but also the way you eat your meals. So really focusing on chewing your food thoroughly and eating in a relaxed state and spending time to eat the meals. The reason why is because when we chew our food thoroughly, we're able to digest our food better. And you could be eating healthy, making healthier choices, but your body may not be absorbing the nutrients as well because your organs are not functioning as properly. And this is one issue that stress puts a toll on your health, is it really affects your body's ability to produce stomach acid, enzymes, and then bile, or your gallbladder to contract and release the bile to break down fats. Those three things affect how your body breaks down proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. When you eat in a rushed state, you're not giving your organs the opportunity to really break down and absorb those nutrients. So that is one of the most easy, crucial things you can do when eating a meal, to spend the time to actually eat it, enjoy it, and then reflect after how it makes you feel. And that really is what kind of evolves falling in love with eating healthy. It's the best way to explain it.
I think a lot of it is too, when we eat healthy, we're going to feel better because our body's actually absorbing the food. Versus when you're on medications, for example, now you've kind of destroyed the villi or the absorption, if you want to call it. I'm going to call them something in your intestines that absorbs nutrients and vitamins in your food that we should be having. Can we get our body to be healthier so what we're eating we actually feels good, versus when you do artificial flavors, it's just superficial.
Yeah.
At that point, we get our body to actually learn how to detoxify, and when I say detoxify, ingest the food better into our bloodstream, so our organs that would need those nutrients, even our brain, can lower stress, lower inflammation, and feel good. And once you feel good, for those reasons like you had mentioned, look back and go, okay, how did that make me feel? Over time, your brain will relearn what tastes good is good for you.
Yes.
Will relearn, I need to meditate because I feel a little bit less stressed. Then you become your best nutritionist, best dietitian, best counselor, best meal prep person, because now you've learned how to treat your own body and not listen to a doctor or a chiropractor like myself, because you've learned actually what feels good and what's good for your body.
Right. Yeah, and food is extremely powerful. It just really gets down to you making the choice and the decision to want to be healthy. So one thing I always focus on with clients is really spending time to determine what is your why. Like, why do you want to be healthy? Is it just to lose weight? Well, why do you want to lose weight? It's to take care of your kids, to be present, to be healthy long term for yourself, but also your family. So just, spending time, if you're struggling to find that balance of how to eat healthy and make the right choices, really sit down and be mindful of, well, what is your reason why? Because we are so spoiled with nowadays that we have so many options like Chef Gourmet that are available to us. It's just a matter of our choice of how we want to approach it.
It's $10 a meal. My kids will probably ask me at lunch, they're $10 a meal. But it's something good for you versus something that's not good for you and it's in your fridge all the time. I would only not get Chef Gourmet or something else if you do not have a refrigerator. Right. That's the only reason I get to figure it wouldn't work, right? If you don't have a fridge, you're kind of like, okay, you're screwed. But can we since all of us that are watching the video right now, and the future too, can we realize, okay, is now the time for me, it's up to you, to now eat healthier, eat simpler, and have someone else take the guessing game out of what I need. So at that point, going to a personal trainer, I just do what they do and I'm going to feel better.
Right.
How long does it take for someone, Olivia and Suzy, to get on a meal plan schedule and actually maintain that because they say they want to?
I feel like,
sense?
Yeah,
I
feel like most people, after 2 weeks, they'll start to recognize how the food makes them feel. 30 days is usually when it sticks, and where they're going to start to see a lot of their symptoms, whether they be digestive or even just heartburn alone. They'll see a reduction in those just from the changes in their diet. And it's easy as just making a phone call, and it can change it so much. Yeah,
it's too easy. And a lot of it is, I would almost want to pay like 3 days in advance to say, hey, take care of me, whatever happens in my life, happens in my life. At that point, I don't have to worry about it. Do you go pick it up, or does someone drop it off your house?
You do have the option to pick up, but we do have delivery on Fridays and Saturdays.
Is that free, or is that like $1,000 cost?
Oh, no. If you order 10 meals, it's free.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's a minimal fee. We've kind of gone back and forth on this. I think I think it's a $10 or $20 fee, depending on how far you are, because we do service such a large area.
Okay.
So that's why the Friday, Saturday. So depending on where your location is, then they would tell you that your meals will be delivered on Friday or Saturday.
And how big are the meals itself?
Well,
you say like
they're like in a container about that big. But like I said, I was surprised because like I'm going to be honest, like I'm the real person that doesn't
has kids at home.
That has kids at home that doesn't, that doesn't always make the right choices.
Yeah.
But
quick.
It's very, to be honest, I was surprised because I thought like I'm not going to be full after this, and I was, and I think it's just like because mentally we think we need all this food.
And you're conditioned that way.
Yeah, we go to restaurants and we're served these huge plates that we think, oh, that's what we need to eat. We don't need to eat that, and I think that that's the part for me that I'll be honest, I am not the kind of person who has a lot of discipline. I need somebody to say, this is what you need to eat, and this is how you do it, because I'm not going to, if I'm left to my own devices, I'll probably make the wrong decisions.
Well, you're human, and when we all want to go back to what we're used to, what seems easy for us, even though it's not as easy. And like I said before, if you want to get healthier, in whatever that means to you, at that point, I think doing a meal plan, at least for 30 days, allows your body to at least see the difference, how you feel, how food tastes, how things overall, your body responds to the food, so you know what you like, what you don't like. At that point, if you give yourself a 30-day trial period, then you give enough time to realize, does it work for me? Do I feel better? Do I have less heartburn? Do I need less medications? But your body needs at least 30 days. I even go to 90 days to where your body can change physiology. At that point, get to a healthier state so that becomes your new normal.
Right.
You got to give yourself time to get there. It's not going to happen in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's going to take time to get there.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think that that's the issue in our society is that we don't have a lot of patience. We want the quick fix, and sometimes that's just not the way that it works. We have to put in the work, and we have to make the choice. And so, like I said, for me, I have struggled, with my maintaining weight, and like now with my kids. And I can tell you, like for families, I know right now the issue is that, it's cheap to buy fast food. It is cheap. When you go buying organic and all these things, it can't...
But you got to know where to go to get it. Is it really organic? Is it worth it? It's going to spoil in 3-4 days. My kids won't eat it.
Right. And so that's, for me, is where this comes into play, where you don't have to worry about those things. You can say, like, okay, it's there, the kids, and then you can choose from the menu. Oh, maybe my kids aren't going to eat this certain thing, so I'm not going to order that one. But you have your choices every week to choose your different things. Like I said, like I did a pot roast from them, which was really tasty and good, and my kids liked it. My daughter loved the chicken meal, where I was like, I don't know if she's going to do this, but she loved it. And so, I just think, like, if you're sitting there struggling thinking, I don't know where to start, this is a great place to start, because you don't have to think, you don't have to like make those choices and buy a bunch of food that they don't end up eating. You can try the different meals, you can see what works, and that way for next time, like, oh, they really liked that one, I'm going to order that again.
Yeah, you kind of do a little research, what the kids liked, and tell the kids, my kids especially, only eat one, not 4.
Yeah.
But like you said, perfect thing you said was, you don't have to think.
Yeah.
Just get it, and for me, it'd be try for 4 weeks, see how you like it for 4 weeks for you and your family. If you like it, great. If not, don't diet again. But can it work for you to save the time and energy and money, even money, because you're wasting money if you're buying foods that people are going to eat?
Yeah.
At that point, you're not going to be frustrated.
Yes.
And whatever you feel is healthier for you, that healthier state, can you get there? Maybe a little bit in that 4-week period, so your body feels like you've done something positive, and now you can maintain over time the routine habit of eating prepped meals, so that point your body feels stronger. And again, it's not lean cuisine. This is something that's good for you. And then, what's the best way to contact Chef Gourmet? Is it via their Facebook, via their Instagram?
So we are on Facebook and Instagram, and there's a link to our website, and you can order directly on there, or like I said, you can call in. So it's your choice, but you can order online, or you can call in, and every week, if you follow us on social media, our menus will be posted weekly.
Good.
and then you can see, which ones you want, what you want to order, and then let them know where you're at, and they'll give you the delivery day. Or, like I said, if you choose pickup, you can pick up on Friday. So that's kind of the gist. But we do service a very wide area, and so I have had people reach out like, "Oh, I'm in Diamond Bar. Do you do?" And we do. Good. Which is not common for some places. They have a smaller radius, but we do deliver in different areas. So just let us know where you're at, and we can let you know if we can accommodate the delivery.
Good. And Olivia, too, with yours, what's a good client for you? What's someone that you want to talk to help them out? It's been a good benefit for your services.
Really anyone that is dealing with some type of digestive issue and is looking to get to the root cause of their health symptoms. So you can contact me on my website, it's honoryourcore.com. And then on Instagram, my tag is liver.gallbladder.nutritionist. On Instagram, I focus on specifically helping individuals that are dealing with gallbladder and liver disease. But I touch on a lot more other things that deal with the gut and improving your symptoms. So the best way to contact me is on honoryourcore.com or through Chef Gourmet.
And what I'm going to do too is put everything in the show notes. I'm going to redo the show notes again afterwards with all your links to your Facebook, your Instagram, TikTok, whatever you have going on there too. All right. Anything else?
No,
I think we covered a lot.
And I think a lot of it is meal plans and meal prep has grown recently because of COVID. Yes. But Chef Gourmet has been around for a long time, and they offer the quality advice from Miss Wild Caught Salmon over here, Olivia, and what's going on with her meal. But it gives you information to where,
hungry.
Exactly. And then how do you get your body to get healthier by eating better? And I think that's the plan, and giving someone the time. And I said my recommendation is 4 weeks of going through the plan with them. Okay, has this worked for me or not worked for me? Do I like the foods? The kids like the foods? At that point, your body can get healthier and stay that way. Right? Thanks for watching the show. Suzy, Olivia, thanks for being there. And then put the show notes.
Thank you for having us.
Have a good day.
Of course. Have a good day. Have a good fun. And then we'll see you guys soon.
Yes.
Have fun. Bye.
Thanks.
Was that fun?
That was fun.